All right, Mr. Chairman, you are live.
All right. Meeting's called to order at 5:30 p.m. Members present: David, Candy, Jeff, Danae, absent, David Worley. Others: John, Allison, Brad, and we have one visitor,
Dusty Smith.
Dusty Smith. First item, approval of the minutes. We're looking for May.
That's crazy.
I looked at that one. You said it. I thought, oh, wow.
Well, 4th fell on a Monday.
Oh, that's right.
I know, yeah.
Okay, I make a motion, we approve as written.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. All right, visitors and petitioners.
So this is when I would talk.
Yeah.
Wait a second. We forgot something.
We got to you quick.
oh, fine.
We won't put you on the spot or anything.
No, not at all.
We're just,
We're not used to having visitors.
That is correct.
We're so
But I'll
excited.
need you to speak into the microphone. So what happens is the people here can hear you, but the people out in the audience cannot hear on television without the speaker.
All right, so we're on.
Yes.
All right.
You're famous.
No problem. Thank you for the invite, Danae. Reached out and invited someone from Marshall County Soccer to come and be a part of this. And I was just going to give you all some dates that we're looking at for the new season, for the fall season coming up. So on the 14th through the 20th of August, we're going to set our rosters and set our coaches. And then we're looking for early practices to start next week on 8/22, and then have all the practices for going on 8/29. This will mostly be for the U10, U12 teams that practice across the road in Memorial Park. Some teams of the U6 and U8 may practice in Calvert. It really depends on the coach and if it's more convenient for them. Then September 10th is our first games that we're going to schedule. We do not have a schedule yet, but we wanted to make sure that we made the Parks Board aware and give you our intentions, and we are open for any questions that you might have. And
How many teams do you have this year? How many teams do you have?
we are in our registration right now, so we don't have that number yet.
To my knowledge, we've never had anyone like this, right? Preparing us for
That's correct.
Well, I
awesome.
would prefer that you didn't get caught by surprise.
Gotcha. I love it. We're so excited. I hear there's two.
Before you leave, we'll get you an application for the sports league agreement,
Mhm.
or the sports league agreement. That way you'll have it. You want to come back for it.
Okay, that's perfect. I work in Calvert, so I'm here Monday through Friday,
Okay.
and I work with Gene, so if you all
Awesome.
need anything, can't get a hold of me, you can get it through Gene, but.
And we do have all new officers. They have all new officers
Yes.
now, correct? So
Yes,
new structure and all
Can
that. So
can you get both one up, please? Give us just a second. We'll have that for you. sir.
So with the current layout of the fields,
Mhm.
are they currently constructed for what you need moving forward?
we believe so. We have 3 U6 fields, down there, 2 U8 fields. I think it's Doctors Park that way. Is that right?
Mhm.
And then in Memorial Park, there's 2 U10 fields and 1 U12 field. So in the past, it has worked out really well. So should we need
You don't
anything,
expect
we
any
would-
changes on
No,
that?
we don't. But if anything comes up, I'll come back and ask.
there you go. Awesome.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
She's having to print it, otherwise she'll be with you. Just
That's fine.
Because it seems like in the spring, there was a huge turnout for,
There was, we had 3 U10 teams and then the U12 team. And I think there was a U14.
yeah, my son was on it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was,
Because of the current conditions,
Mhm.
we're focusing on the 4. U4 is out right now, and 14 is out right now, so we're focusing on those
Gotcha.
other
That makes sense.
until we can get them sprayed.
There you go. Gotcha. That's great.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks for
we-
stepping up. I know it's a lot. It's a lot of work, so appreciate
Well, I
it.
am the Calvert City liaison from the soccer
Okay,
and U10, U12 coordinator.
okay,
Brian Smothers is the president.
okay.
If
Okay,
any of
I
you
didn't
all know
realize
him.
that. Very good.
So you're the field coordinator, just the coordinator, period.
For Calvert City, I'm the Calvert coordinator, so.
Okay. I may have to have the president sign that, but
That's fine. We have a meeting on the 12th, and if I can track him down
Yeah.
for them.
And if he needs a notary, we can do that here.
Okay.
Or if they've got one, that's fine, but the signature will have to be notarized.
Yes, sir.
And that gives us some heads up so that we know when field prep starts. Thank you for that as well. That's what we usually get, 2 days notice and,
Yeah.
oh, well, they want the fields done now.
Or the day of.
The
Yeah,
day of, yeah, that happened too, haven't
or days after. Can you believe it was that
Yeah.
high? No, why? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Appreciate you coming by.
Yes.
I guess we have lots of old business to go over.
I can summarize in 30 minutes.
Awesome.
No. Actually, we finished up last year. Well, we didn't get into any overages, so the budget last year turned out well. This year, the budget was approved, pretty much what we submitted. The one thing that I are holding on is paving. There won't be any paving done until we make sure that the blacktop or the asphalt bituminous surfacing rate comes back down. We were quoted at somewhere around 150 a ton. That's more than twice what we were paying last year. So we are going to continue. Yes, ma'am, you're right. Thank you, Allison.
That's our job.
Good job.
That's right.
Good job. So we are going to work on the base as far as dense grade and that type. Right now, we're actually doing the walking trail, a connection that runs from Railroad Avenue down to Doctor's Park. So that connection is in the process of working right now. We've been putting the dozer in, putting the rock down. We're putting in a parking lot behind City Hall. We actually own, if you'll see the stakes outside here, you'll see that's our property line, is that everything west of those stakes is ours. So we're putting in a parking lot, we're gonna gravel it and put in 2 entrances, one off of the drive and the other one off of Park Road. That gives us, gives the fire department about, well, it gives them about 12 or 13 parking places. And then beyond that would be general parking. If we've got training going on here during the day, that the officers can park there. If we've got soccer games going on, we've got parking for soccer as well. And overflow for baseball as well. So, but we're looking at something about 50, 55 parking places total down there. So. Again, it will be gravel this year. It's not going to be, I don't think it'll be paved at this time. Neither will the walking trail, the extension of wrap over on Memorial Park. That's not going to be paved this year. However, we do have money in there also to work on the water and the electric lines. So we expect to work on that this year.
So it's not just holding off. You just think it won't be, there's no way the cost will come down for us to.
I don't
consider it.
see it
Yeah,
in
it's
this
still-
season. If it does, it'd be great. We might be able to move forward with some stuff. But right now, Brad's gonna have everything he can say grace over,
Okay.
trying to get all the base together and stuff like that.
Now, the Railroad Avenue, it looks like it's coming along pretty well.
It's going along very well. It's gonna be, we're gonna actually apply for federal funds
Mhm.
to make it an I-24 spur. That's a joke, guys.
Oh, gotcha. I thought,
They were
When you said
going
Not on
on.
federal
Monday.
grants,
I know, I'm like, well, okay. Moving up.
No, it's just gonna be good and wide and everything. So what we'll probably want to have to do is put some sort of a entrance type setup and barricade just to make sure that we can keep vehicles. And I'm talking about cars and pickup trucks and stuff like that from coming down that way. It shouldn't stop.
but somebody's gonna wanna try it.
Mhm.
But yeah,
We
it's,
saw
and it's
someone
wide
come
enough that they can do it.
From across McDonald's, you know, they were coming out of like, where Willow, what's the fish place?
Campbell
It
Lane,
used to be Willow Pond.
Yeah, and they turned onto that bike path.
Oh, gosh.
yeah,
Hmm.
and then crossing the on-ramp.
Mhm. Oh,
So,
that's scary.
That was bad.
anyway, we've already talked about that discussion. The mountain bike trail, pretty good shape right now. We got, how many miles of it now? 2.1?
I think you got it up to like 3
Is
now.
it 3? We were working toward 4 miles of mountain bike trails in that 25 acres behind the school and over here to the west of Doctor's Park. It looks like we're going to get at least 3, which is excellent. Talked with one of the mountain bike coaches, and he said that it's excellent, especially for beginners, because it's kind of flat. It's got some hills, but it's mostly flat. So he says in a lot of places they ride in this area are technical. So this gives someone who's beginning something to work with. It doesn't feel like it's over, just too much.
Yeah.
So but he said he likes it, that they were on it the other day and said it was excellent. He had 45 riders.
That's
So-
so great.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
The pickleball court, I know it's something that everybody's interested in.
Yep.
Basically, it's done except for painting. 3 weeks ago, I was told it would be 3 weeks. And I was told today, 2 more weeks. So we've got the electrical is connected, the lights are connected, fencing's up. The bleachers should be in, they're not here yet, are they? I expected them Friday, but they should be here this week. So really the only thing we have left is the painting. And I made him, he's aware of it, so. But right now he's working on, I think he said 14 courts in Marion, Illinois. So he's basically the only game in town for this area. And I'm talking Southern Illinois, Western Kentucky. And I've seen some of the stuff he's done. He does a good job. So we just have to, it's one of those things where we just kind of have to buy our time. He said he was fully surprised with us and the fact that we actually got our court done as fast as we did. He said, would have never believed you'd been done as fast.
Yeah, it was fast.
Mhm.
So
That's great.
Thanks to our guys. They're awesome.
anyway, we've got that moving.
That'll be exciting when that opens up.
You think we'll have like a ribbon cutting or something for
Oh, I'm sure we
that?
will.
I think,
Oh, yeah.
I hope so.
Oh,
Big time,
yes.
big time.
Um,
I'm sure the lab has already had that planned out.
no, but we do.
You do, okay,
Yeah.
good.
Now, there definitely better be there.
Yes.
I'm gonna make sure they're there.
Yeah.
Sidewalks, we're working on the 2 sidewalk entrances or the sidewalk entrances down at the Doctor's Park bathrooms. We've taken out the culvert and connection and we're gonna redo those. We're actually gonna do 2 of them. One will go in on each side of the bathroom, correct?
Yeah, the one will line up to the sidewalk that goes across by the soccer fields, like y'all wanted last year,
Mhm.
and we'll tie both of them in there this time.
So that's moving. Um, again, I'll make note, we actually put a new sign up. Brad did. Pretty bold. You know, our rules and regulations, which nobody apparently reads, says no dogs or no pets allowed. And that's a health department regulation. That's not necessarily ours. It's the health department. People keep bringing them in, so we put in a sign that ought to be bold enough, but obviously it wasn't because we've already had another dog in there. I kid you not. I mean, and read,
I mean, are
At
they
the
letting the
splash
dog
pad.
like get in it or just, it
Well,
doesn't matter, I guess.
if they don't,
They're not supposed to go past the fence.
Right,
That's why the fence is there, to
sure,
keep animals.
but the big deal is them getting in the water.
right.
That's the big deal. If they get in the water, then we have to shut the pool down or the
Yeah.
splash pad down. And you're talking about 2 days worth of work to get it back up and running again. So, I mean, I want people to know this because
Yeah.
when they come down there and they can't, it's not on during the season. Unless it's a maintenance repair, then it would be us having to go in and sanitize the tank and everything where someone's brought a dog into the splash pad. So just please keep the animals out of the splash pad. They're not supposed to even be in that facility, but for God's sake, please keep it out of the fountain itself. So, Fred, what am I missing?
Let's see what else. The bike rack.
Okay, the bike racks. That's on the schedule of things we're gonna do, to get them installed, but they're in, but we just haven't had a chance with everything else going on.
Well, it's a little more involved than what I think, because you gotta actually pour a concrete pad to mount them to and all that.
Yeah,
So it's,
it's like putting in a bench,
Yes.
memorial bench. It's not
Yeah,
just
right.
putting in, you're not
Just sitting
pouring,
it up, yeah.
we're not pouring just a post or setting that down in concrete. We're actually pouring a pad. And we actually have another table that's going in, memorial table that'll be going in, somewhere after that. So that's part of it.
How many is that gonna leave?
I'm sorry,
How many spots is that gonna leave?
not many. Basically, the next spots would probably be on the loop around. Now, there's a couple spots over. We'll probably have 2 or 3 left.
Yeah, I just hate to go over that area.
I don't want to make it so, you don't want to make it so tight that everybody's sitting on top of each other. You know?
Right. Oh,
And
yeah.
so, but with the extension of the,
I kind of like it in the tree lines.
well, the extension over onto the other side, we can actually put some benches over there. And then we've got enough ground down on the south end, on the east side of the creek, on the south end, down on 7th Avenue, that we could probably put in something there. I think that would be a good location, possibly to put in another one like we have up near the amphitheater, the little table itself. It's an 8-person table, it's a 6-footer, 8-footer, 6-footer. Yeah, something else like that. Down there would be a good little area for it. But that's something you guys take a look at. Say we've got the drawings of where we actually bought that. So anyway. The bathrooms, that's, they did make the budget. We're working on design right now.
Yeah, I was shocked. I thought they might kind of put a hold on that, so.
No, they recognize the need,
That's good.
you know, and of course, the concentration of people there is gonna be between the skate park and that, plus the basketball, that it's gonna be one of those situations where we need to put another full-size one there. That's the priority. Then the tennis court would be a single unisex bathroom. And then if there's anything left over, then a unisex bathroom down here on the west side of Doctor's Park. But right now, the priority one is bathroom up here on the hill. So, and that one would be set up in such a way that it would be full size. It was 3 or 4 stall on each side. So. And then 2 sinks.
Oh, cool.
It would face west. And in facing west, we're looking at putting up a windbreak for weather, sun, whatever, privacy. So that it's just walking by, you're not gonna be able to just look in if someone's going in and out. So there'll be some kind of a little privacy screen in front of that. And probably the awning, that's our basic design. It would be somewhat similar to what we have, only probably, but we'll have but they would all be on the same side. The entrances would be on the same side facing the walking trail on the west side. And then your fountain would be in the middle. And then on the back side, your chase entrance would be on the back side instead of putting the female on one side and the male on the other. So.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice when we get in.
So, yeah. And,
Is that about it?
I think so. Unless you guys have questions or anything like that.
Pretty straightforward. New business?
We've been busy this summer.
Yep.
Everything was looking so good. Someone that doesn't live here was driving through. He said, this is just like a little town you would see at a beach or something. It's just so nice and quaint. And I was like, yeah, I know. Yeah, no. But it was just so nice because, when you hear compliments, because, done so much and worked so hard. Not us, but. So.
Yeah, a little bit,
A little bit.
a little bit.
Put our hours in.
Anything new with Haddix Ferry? Any plan yet? The pavilion?
What was your thoughts on once you got the water tables down right now, what do you think about putting in the rock down there?
Yeah, it's on my schedule.
It's another one of those things that he's got on his
Honestly,
schedule.
it's not.
There's only so many Brads. I can't
I
clone him
bet.
yet. There's laws against that.
That we know about anyway.
That
Yeah.
list that keeps growing as you check off.
Yeah, I never get caught up. I guess it's a good thing.
He's got 2 little Brads, but one of them decided he wanted to go play in water instead of working under the dad's equipment shields.
Did you take his dog with
Well,
Okay, only one other thing I want to talk about was the shade at the splash pad. That's what I'm confronted with a lot. And I know we said, and that's what I tell everybody, when we put this in, of course, it's in Memorial Park, and it's not a children's play area. We have other parks for that. So I tell them that, we're not gonna have bright colorful umbrellas or anything like that, but we are looking at options that we could, even if it's something we could take down, like, I even thought like those umbrellas Blair has down there, that we use for aeration and stuff, but I know people wouldn't put them down. That would be the problem. Cause it'd be like the country club.
if you're gonna put something up, you'll need to do something that's similar to what we've got out here that has basically shade. And the only side that it's gonna be any benefit to is on the west side, those with their backs to the sun. Those on the opposite side are not gonna have any benefit, period, because you're just not gonna be able to put shade on them. And if we're gonna do something, it's gonna have to be artistic to match what we've got down there. It's not gonna be just an octagon shaped umbrella, I wouldn't think.
I like the idea of something you put up and take down. It's,
Like
like just
these
for the
others.
summer, it's just, what
Well,
is it that we
surely there's
have down
something
here?
that's like khaki, you know, that's
Yeah,
like that
that's what
back
I would
there.
say that would like,
Well, it would probably be, well, it would be something, you know, going there. I'm not sure what exactly, but we could probably do something like that. But we're gonna have to find something that's gonna look, you know,
Yeah, it has to look
and then
aesthetically
we put
pleasing.
put that in the budget, so
Right.
we can work on that.
or, we have the pergola on the other side. Did we get another pergola that you put that, like in the summer, you put those shades in, like the umbrella shades that would never come up and down, or is that,
Well, one of the things I'm thinking about is if we do something that will probably take even the structural portions of it down. Because next thing you'll see is, well, I can't see the fountain because of the shades.
yeah,
And so now we got the colored fountain that's only seen, it's now blocked that way. So
right,
if we do something, it's gonna have to be something that can be mounted and dropped in the fall when we close. Or it would only be installed when we open up for actual play in the pad.
right.
Right.
When it closes, that goes down.
And I think even if it doesn't have to be right there on the concrete pad, it could be in the grassy. you
That's what
know,
I was kind
It
of
has to be
thinking.
on concrete,
Oh,
or else I'm gonna pour more concrete,
Cause of mowing and all that.
because of mowing. I mean, it's better off to have it that way.
Well, how long are they at the park anyway?
Cause I think, it's gonna go away and then again. Yes, yes, yes. Uh-huh.
What you usually see, then the other splash pad covers on them, really? Most of them is like a swimming pool.
we're not saying over the entire
Like
splash
tennis
pad, we're
courts,
just
same
saying
way.
somewhere for parents to sit, right? Is
Right,
is
yeah.
that what
It
you're?
would have to
that's
be
what I'm
over,
talking
it have to be over memorial benches.
Right.
That's where it's gonna wind up being, is over memorial benches.
Right,
And there's not a way we could put. I mean, I was thinking even another, well, you've already poured the concrete, that would make it, I started to say another table, like on one of the ends, that would have an umbrella in the middle that you could take down. No,
I don't think there's enough room for it.
Okay.
And if you do, I think you're starting to turn it into, it was designed to be principally a fountain with a splash pad feature.
Right.
That's the reason we don't have all the funny faces and that kind of stuff in there, okay?
Right.
And I think if we start putting in more than we already have, then we're gonna start getting into a situation where, boom, it's no longer a fountain, it's just a splash pad.
Can we not just suggest that they bring an umbrella?
I'm sure she does.
'Cause I mean, I understand, normally I say, there's all kinds of shade with the benches outside of there, and I do realize when you have small kids, you can't just say, hey, go have fun, but.
yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Something to think about for sure. And when you go other places, look and see what
Yeah.
different cities do.
Well,
Shade or just.
this is treated like a swimming pool, okay? Do they have umbrellas and stuff at swimming pools?
Or tennis courts.
Of course, again, they're probably not sitting on metal benches. They're sitting on folding chairs, which is a little bit different. And so that does make a difference. And that's something we probably want to take into consideration, because those benches are metal and they do absorb heat. So probably more so at midday and later. And so we'll just have to look at something and see what's out there.
Yeah, I've seen those ones they're like a triangle, different shapes that are like,
Yeah,
I've seen those in like parks, but I mean.
Something like a sail.
playgrounds, like
yeah.
in playgrounds, those kind of
Like
things,
to,
but you can make them kind of
that,
fit that, and it might be able to.
Well, I was looking at
Or
either a sail, like a
Uh-huh.
triangular
that's what
sail,
it looks like.
or either a C shape that goes up and over.
It'd be
Like a
great if
like a
that
soccer
company
stadium,
had
they
something
have
attached
Like
to
the
it,
benches.
just temporarily they could take on and off.
Yeah.
Say again, I'm sorry.
I said, it would be great if the company that we use for the benches had like an attachment for them. But I mean,
Do
Then you
more.
could take on and
I have
off.
never seen anything through Do More like that. It's gonna be something we'll have to mount to the concrete behind it, most likely.
What about those, like our rest stops for a walking trail? Something like those.
I think that the shade structure will be a whole lot less expensive. And it also will actually do a better job because those are not, while they may be shades, I don't see the clear. Not understanding that one.
Yeah.
It's more, that protects you more from the inclement weather than it does from from heat or from sun.
With a sale, you could take it down, so it would make sense. Because
True.
at Christmas time,
We
you know,
take-
like, you don't want umbrellas out there or, you know, sales out there at Christmas. You want-
Well, you know, we take down the shades off all of our play structures down here,
Right,
the seating structures over here.
right.
So it
Just
just,
local winter, yeah.
we'll take a look and see what we come up with.
Anybody else have any other new business?
Well, the only other thing I had was, and I'm sure they already, I keep them listed, I thought, I tell you, that's what I do. And I'm sure they already addressed this, but the day our church was using, the park for the service, they had a wedding the day before and they had rose petals, you know, the artificial kinds. I'm sure they already addressed that, but, you know, they were everywhere. So is that need to be in the contract or not?
It is in the contract.
Oh, it is, okay.
I mean, they're not supposed to leave a mess.
Okay.
And they're artificial.
I know.
That-
Believe me, Chris was telling us about it.
That's a deposit disappearing.
Okay.
That's what that is.
I figured it
Yeah.
was. I just,
We may wind up having to clean it up ourselves, but that's gonna lose the deposit.
yeah, that's what I figured, but I just wondered.
So,
I mean, it didn't bother me. I mean, they were everywhere, but it didn't bother me, but I thought, I wouldn't have thought about that, but it was
Maybe something we
everywhere.
need to add in.
Yeah,
that it's there.
it was
It's already there.
And it was so neat though that wedding took place there because I mean, every time I drove by, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. But
That's-
it was cool. That's all I have.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll let you do it.
did you have, I'm sorry, did you have anything else?
Oh,
Okay,
I know
sorry.
Brad really wants to stay longer. He wants to talk about some more.
You never know.
Motion by Kenny,
I'll second.
Jeff second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 6:02.
Awesome.
And then September is no.